Hey guys, welcome back. Eddie here. Today we're gonna be trying something completely different. It's gonna be a voiceover over a recording instead of the usual music or perhaps Russian comms or something. Some epic fight or whatever. Carefully chosen, as some would say. So yeah, we're gonna have something different. I would like to focus on this in this video on one specific point. That I think a lot of people miss, especially in heavy armor, and that would be a tackling part and screening part. When I tell you screen something, immediately you probably think kiting, right? Um, but I think for brawling, it's equally important, or even more important, in a lot of cases, um, than in kite. That's not something I've seen talked around or at all, and I see a lot of mistakes constantly on that part, on our side or enemy side, and I just would like to show you the consequences of not executing on screening and tackling part, and this video will highlight quite a few episodes where tackling was either good or not good. So yeah, hopefully you like it, and something I would like to try and expand a bit more into some different topics, perhaps, not just tackling, but just generally wormholes, heavy armor content, generation, that sort of stuff, PvP a bit, settings or whatever, some of the theory maybe for smaller groups and maybe mid-scale groups. Probably this content wouldn't fit the large scale, because large scale is extremely different. Um, yeah, the numbers just are different there, and the way things work there are different. So perhaps it could help somebody who is new to the wormholes, new to the brawling, wants to improve, perhaps get better, do better choices, and have some sort of an experience watching, observing somebody else talking through it, instead of just like undocking, making mistakes yourself, some silly mistakes, and then spending another week looking for another good fight to try something. Instead, you can just already have some of that knowledge in you. So yeah, hopefully it helps. So what we have here is suddenly pineapples, Jezza, Diro, Dandre, the 3-star pilots probably in their group. This happened like half year ago, I believe, or something. Second fight we ever had with them. They're pretty new to their group because they formed recently, I believe. They're pretty new to the C5 space, at least in current days, I would say. Yeah. So in terms of power, you have to account as well for it before every fight, obviously. So we are stronger, we are bigger than them, as far as we know at least, right? So we have all the cards in our sleeve, so to speak. So they connected to us, they wanna fight or something, we don't know, probably. So we just drop some heavy armor, and Lucy wants to use his Nag fleet, because obviously I told Lucy there is Dandri on the opposing side. Dandri likes capitals, he's a killer type of a player, he wants to execute. So he drops his Nag, and you know, maybe they gonna drop their own caps. Could be fun, could be pretty bad, who knows. But they hit me up in the Discord, tell me that they can't deal with the Nag essentially. So they like, can we ship down? So they told them sure, no problems. We warp off the Nag. I give Lucy a different ship ball, I believe, because he came for a couple days to Rage Roller for an evening with us, as he does sometimes, rarely. So yeah, so we just wait for them. That's our core heavy armor. Your typical core heavy armor these days in a small scale is 2 Nesters, Lynx, maybe a Hick, and then your DPS, right? That's the sort of cookie cutter from which starts everything, and then it unfolds and you add more DPS or whatever logi or whatever you need or want, you know, that sort of stuff. So we just wait for them, and I'd like you to notice that we are not forcing anything. We are not undocking big numbers. We are not baiting them with the praxis or anything like that. We are not sitting on their hold to not to stop them worrying about the mass, right? And to signal them that we're not gonna fool with the mass or anything like that, or there is not gonna be jumping in and out of wormhole, right? So one less thing for them to think about, and also for us. So we can focus on cooler things than mass and whatnot. So we just invite them over. We like to invite people like over. Usually we don't force a blob or bait and blob or like that. We like to invite people over for cool fights. Why not? That's the entire point of the game. So let's see what they come up with. So as you can see, they are coming right now. You can see on the D-scan they have quite a fleet. A lot more than us, looks like. Last choice, last second to pop some boosters. To redeem some boosters as well. They give you a bit of something at least. Check the fittings. I don't have a smart bomb online because it's like a couple Leshaks died, I guess, and it's like a spare Leshak, so to speak, and sometimes things don't work out when you're bad. But not to worry about that, smart bomb is relevant kinda. So they land on a grid. As you can see, they have a lot more than us. They have nearly triple the numbers of what we currently have on the field. So it was either kind of them to not insta-kill us by warping on top of us, or I don't know why they decided to warp 70. It's a bit weird, but okay. So that's what we are working with. So it's good for us, because then we have time to respond a bit more correctly should we decide to. So you can see, so they brought a matching number in terms of DPS. We have about 12k, they have about 12k DPS. We have like 18k DPS, they have like 30k DPS. But the numbers on HPS are kinda inflated because of the nesters, obviously. The cantrip itself, so you just primary the nester and that removes a huge chunk of it. So in theory, if they shoot our nester, they have a Balgord and a Scorpion, and they can jam our other nester reliably. That removes around 11k of reps from grid, and if the Balgorn just nukes out 2 of our Leshaks, that removes another at least 3k. So about 14k of reps we lose. So that's only 4k reps we have left on the grid. So they have 12,000 DPS, we just instantly die if they just press buttons. Collide. But we decide, YOLO, take it a bit slow, you know, why not? So likewise, if we go for their nester, their reps would become 24k, something like that, which is still overkill x2 of what we have. But we decided, maybe, like, obviously because we can't kill anything on grid, so the best thing to do is usually to go and kill jamming ship. Jamming ship is usually the weakest ship in heavy armor, and a lot of jam pilots, whoever flies a Scorpion Widows or something, they really fit them poorly, incorrectly, low tank, low EHP or something like that, and you just headshot. So that can happen. So this is what we're gonna try to do, is go for a Scorpion instead. Because also the Scorpion is a threat for us, because it removes our nester from a battlefield. So if we kill a nester, theoretically we are if we kill their Scorpion instantly, we are tanking them. If not, we are dying. If they execute correctly their Bile and nester, their primary target. Well, here is the first part of the first episode, first instance, so to speak, where the tackling becomes extremely important in heavy armor, tackling and screening part. So our FC makes a call, we go for a Scorpion. Now, this is quite a bad call. In perfect world, it's bad call because they're gonna screen us, right? We're not gonna get to that Scorpion. Look where that Scorpion is. He's behind their fleet. We have to go through entire their fleet. So that's not good. But we YOLO for it, see what happens. So here is the first instance. As we are ramming the Scorpion, what they could do, because we have Damnation, Phobos, Nesters. These are slow ships, very slow ships. They could go past us and catch our backline and fix it, grapple, scram it, web it there behind. You see, the Nestor and Leshak reps are only 30 kilometers. Right now, if they scram our Nestor at the back, we can trap it. Simple as that. If they go for our backline right now, which is like our tail, that's poor execution on our part. See, Damnation doesn't have a prop mod on or something, or is it scrammed? I don't know. 42 kilometers away, he just dies. Simple as that. Which they didn't do. They can kill us already. Perhaps they're playing with their food, waiting for more ships. But they could have killed the Damnation Lynx, which would be pretty important. So they didn't screen and tackle and hold the primary correctly here at all. And this is heavy armor, not a kiting. So, but also there was a second instance of screening and tackling failure here. It was us getting on top of the Scorpion. We literally went through entire their fleet. They have a bunch of Leshaks. They have a Devoter that has probably 3 scrams at least. They should have some webs somewhere and grapples and whatnot. We had no business of actually getting on top of the Scorpion at all. Like none. But we decide still anyway, let's try it. Let's go for it and see what happens. Because they actually allowed us to even get to him in the first place. So, sorry. So we should be dying right now. Because as you can see, they're kind of shooting the Nesta. So we should be dying, but we are not dying. Their Scorpion is kind of breaking, but it's not breaking at all. So I think our Nestor is living. The only reason our Nestor is living because he fit a cheeky reactive. Because it's hard to mute out the Nestor. And he saw that there is only Leshak DPS, so thermal explosive, so he probably fit a reactive. That's why he's tanking this very easily right now. For a time being, at least. Until they decide to press their buttons. So, as the fight is progressing, we are still not dying for some reason. We are bringing a ball in. Because when you look on a grid, you can see the clear wing. Clearly weak link in their fleet, which are Guardians and Azaramas that like 40 kilometers away from us. The T2 logistics are notoriously bad in wormholes right now because of their low repping power, low buffer. So they have a tendency of just dying really quick once you get hold of them. Or the capacitor could be an issue for them as well. Oh, experienced ball pilots can just eat them for breakfast. So this is a third instance of entire topic of the video, which is tackling and screening. Our ball lands and they are not screening him. Because like ball lands, you obviously on their side, you understand what's he gonna do. Oh god, he's gonna go for our Guardians. Look at the ball. He's just MWDing towards Guardians in a straight line. He's not even have to like what's the word? Go around, feather, whatever is the word for it in English. He just goes through them. Nobody scrams him, nobody webs him, anything like that. Which is, say in theory they would have a bit less logistics. They would. This move right now, that they are not screening this Balgorn, they would just lose a fight. They would just die, right? But they have a lot of logistics, and one ball for Guardians versus ARM is quite complicated to achieve, like even if at all possible. Like this ball is specifically crafted ball that I have that could, in theory, he should mute out the 4 Guardians and his ARM given time, and if nobody touches him. But there is also a Scorpion. Scorpion can jam him in theory, right? So there is a lot of things that can happen that are not happening. So he just goes for a Guardians. They don't screen him at all. We are starting to bleed the Nestor a bit because they finally are executing their strategy, I guess. So the, it takes about at least 2 minutes for a Balgorn to put in some work on Guardians, right? So the Guardians are usually multi-boxed, but they still can deal with that Bal for a while. After some time, it's becoming a bit more problematic with all the multi-boxing and everything going on. So you'll see here is gonna be the soon should be the force. See the jump drones, I believe, went to the Bal because probably the call was made on a comms. All up, guys, our Guardians are struggling because of that one Bal, so we need to do something about it. So what they will try to do, if they're gonna run towards our Bal, try to scram and web him to prevent him from keeping up with Guardians, right? That's gonna be their tactic, which is because they failed initially to even tackle it and screen him in the first place. So we have a sort of small win condition possible right now. Now we knew about it, we should have known about it at least, and screened these two Leshaks that see they're running away. I'm a bit slow. I should have been a lot faster, should have been in better position, I should have been closer to Guardians to give myself more range for webs. So we should have screened these Leshaks and we could have possibly won the fight. Because the reason they went the Leshaks there because Guardians are struggling, right? So if we stopped their counter, they probably could crumble. We didn't, we failed on that part ourselves. So they got the Bal. The Bal is good pilot, Lucy himself. He notices that they are burning for him. As they started burning to him, he comes back in, right? Because again, rep range is 30 kilometers. He could be about 40 kilometers off pinned, right? So he could have died there. So instead he comes back in and he doesn't like just come at 0 on top of us. He puts himself in a place between us and the Guardians, more or less, to keep pressure on the Guardians for a while longer at least. Maybe we're gonna free him up or he's gonna free himself up and he's just gonna go again for the Guardians. They're gonna have to come up with something else again. So right now the fight kinda has stabilized. So they are doing something, we are doing something, a bit countering each other. And the name of the game kinda is screening and tackle right now, generally. It's been like 4 instances or something so far where if either of the sides would execute correctly, they could have won the fight, right? Well, don't be fooled, they can still kill us, they should still be killing us, they are not killing us for some reason. We have a Widow, so that Widow is putting some work, because we added a Widow, Okator and a Leshak, I believe, and a Bal on top from the initial fleet. So the Widow is soaking a lot of aggro because everybody's scared. Ooh, Widow, it's a big bad ship. Not that strong, it's actually a pretty weak ship. But what they do is they just start like primarying our Widow, at least Ivor. So their Bal is gonna newt our Widow, which is completely useless, and he's removing himself. He's countering himself by choosing to newt our Widow, because the Widow doesn't really care about newt, not that much. So he's removing himself from the grid without us actually doing anything. Thanks to him, we are actually, thanks to that Bal's decisions, or whoever made the call, we are actually living. Because if he would have just done his job, newted the Leshaks out or a second Nestor or something, it would have been a lot better for them. Because he's not stopping the jumps from a Widow because of the Nosferatus and K-boosters. So at this point we are starting to think, okay, we can't win this fight because they have just too much. They have too many reps. Nothing we can really do with what we have currently on grid. We have Widow and the Balgorn, which essentially is mirroring whatever they have. Just the Widow is a bit better than a Scorpion, one would say. So we need something like some extra ship or something to perhaps win this somehow. But like, that's one of the powers of like sort of good things if you don't undock everything you have in just straight up Leshaks or whatever your mainline DPSers or mainline Logi is, you can hold some of the characters back, or people perhaps even. And then you choose to correct an undock ship. Choose to undock correct ship that you need for that moment in time to either score a kill or win a fight completely, right? So instead of us just having extra Leshak, we have a Vindicator. We're gonna have a Vindicator. So the reason why Vindicator, because again, when you look on this grid, still the weak link in this grid are Guardians. The Baal is just pressuring them, playing with them. They are not even screening him at this point anymore. So it's, and you can always rely more or less that Guardians are multi-boxed, right? At least in pairs, or a Guardian and a DPS. If you put pressure in that department, they tend to crumble, because like you disrupt anchors or cap chains or anything, or God forbid one of the Guardians dies and you to adjust the watch list and cap chain one up or down, all that crazy stuff. The things crumble really fast. So as you can see, the Windy lands. Again, entire point of the video, screening, tackling. If they right now scram and screen that Vindicator, or jam it, or newt it, or do whatever, Vindicator doesn't get on top of Guardians, because when a Vindicator lands, obviously understand what's gonna happen. He's gonna go for Guardians, he's gonna web them down, we're gonna shoot it, it's gonna pop. Right, that's their one weakness. If you can slow them down and apply, they're dead. So Vindicator just goes, they just let him. They don't do anything about it. C1 Leshakino, I believe, is going, but he was very slow with it. So kinda pointless already. What's he doing? Right now he's just dropping DPS at this point for no reason, because he's late already to the party. So look what happens with the Guardian. We just started shooting it. They're struggling with the broadcast or something even. Kinda not really even relevant. The broadcast at this point, we're just gonna spool and still dead. Unless, of course, they can, with Scorpion and Baal, stop us from killing it, which they didn't do. That they didn't really rep him. They understand that things are about to go really, really bad. As I mentioned before, Guardians are probably multi-boxed, cap chains, all that stuff, anchors, watch list. Oh my god, like it's a nightmare to do these things. So they probably crumble. They are like on very panicking on voice comms right now. So we just use that momentum and just like we take Zarm, which is not a good target. Probably never should really shoot a Zarm. We take it because we had a web on it and like we should go for something else, but we go for Zarm. Okay, fair enough. We don't want to instantly kill them either. We want to give them a chance to sort themselves out as well, because they still have an upper hand. In theory, they still should be fine. But instead, they make a easy choice, just warp out. We weren't really ready for it. We thought they're gonna stay, because Guardian's like 200 mil, not a big loss. Who cares? But probably they couldn't kill us, so that was a bit demoralizing for them. They probably worked out by this day. They definitely have worked out what was wrong here, in terms of just doing their job correctly. Ignoring, if you even ignore the screening and grappling part, generally holding different targets and key targets down. They probably just panicked, crumbled with a Guardian loss because a multi-boxing issue, right? So they just warp out. We weren't ready for it. Yeah, whatever. We don't really care about kills that much. These are good people. They're not like not doing any shady tricks or anything like that. I know quite a few of them. Very fond of them. So yeah, we just grabbed some kills that were scrammed or something. I believe Chaz sells even his Nester to us. He does it quite a few times this year. So he gets a bill or something for it, and we get a Nester, so win-win. Good fight. And, like, it was very slow fight. There was nothing flashy here. Wasn't rushed or anything. It was like nearly an arranged fight, you could say. they had where we gave them all the opportunities to kill us straight up easily, and they didn't take it for many reasons. Maybe they were baiting us, maybe they were just playing with us, maybe they didn't know how to do it. But if they're like still even if they're missing some of the tactics parts or whatever, like the bare minimum what you can do as a pilot, and it's extremely important in heavy armor, not just kiting. In heavy armor is to screen and tackle the targets and look for targets out of position, same as you do in a kiting. Exactly the same idea, especially in Age of Leshaks and Nestors. Rep range is 30 kilometers. Find the target that is 30 kilometers away. If you can scrum and web something that's burning, like we were in the beginning of video, we were going for the Scorpion. If they hold our backline, they pick the slowest ship, they pick somebody who is slacking at the back, pin him down. Let some of the nesters to go through towards the Scorpion and then pin these nesters down. Suddenly you have 40 kilometer, 50 kilometer range between two of them. That's it. Ship's dead. That's all you had to do. In theory. So, and yeah, again, the Vindicator screening, the Balgorn screening. On our side, we played a couple of the things as well on they're wrong. So yeah, but there is a lot to learn and understand the gravity, how important the screening and tackle is in heavy armor and wormhole environment, especially, and just skirmishes as well. So yeah, hopefully you found something interesting here. I illustrated maybe a couple points for you. So yeah, I'm planning to do some more like a flash deep dives or something like that into some other things. So hopefully it can help some newcomers to the wormhole space, some newer people or like mid-tier people who wanna prove and understand what they're doing wrong or something. Maybe they can find something that perhaps we are doing correctly, I'm doing correctly, and they're not doing, and they can prove on that. And simultaneously, if you see something I'm completely doing wrong, let me know. I'm sure you will. See you next time.